when you go and look at kind of what ZETA stands for, there's quite a few different policy pillars of how you're looking to kind of make these impacts on the public level. Can you share what a few of those are and what you're working on today around those pillars?
Well, there's 34 of them, and I'll just spend the next 45 minutes going through those, if that's okay. We actually, the reason that we have such a diverse, platform is we want to make room for a lot of members of Congress to be bought in and have opportunities to lead on this. So there's a host of recommendations that we're making that we think really drive the transportation electrification kind of movement forward. But the big drivers really are the consumer incentives on the light duty and then the medium and heavy duty side. And so what that looks like is a kind of a reformed 30D tax incentive, which is the consumer incentive right now. So it's the $7,500 tax credit that you get if you purchase an electric vehicle. Right now, both GM and Tesla are capped out. It's creating kind of a weird and maybe perverse incentive, which is that we're telling Americans that if they buy a domestically made car, they don't get the credit. But if they buy an import, they do, just because of the way the caps are set. So we want to get rid of that cap. We think there ought to be, and there's been good progress in both the House and the Senate on some secondary market and even vehicle exchange incentives to, again, drive adoption in the light duty space. In the medium and heavy duty side, we're advocating for a 30% investment tax credit. And that's not for the manufacturer, that's for the off-taker. So whether that's a utility, whether it's FedEx, it could be a small municipal fleet, they get a 30% tax credit for the purchase of a medium or heavy duty EV. The other thing that we do is there's a 12% excise tax, which is essentially a sales tax that the federal government levies on medium and heavy duty vehicles. And so we also think that, given the public interest of zero emissions, we ought to suspend that 12% federal excise tax for medium and heavy duty vehicles as well. And then what you need, so that's what drives the vehicles, drives adoption. You obviously need to build out then the charging infrastructure to get there. And so we're advocating for big federal investments in charging infrastructure. And, many folks are going to charge at home. So 70 to 80% in the light duty space, it's going to be a single family home with a level 1 or level 2 charger. But those other use cases are what we really want the federal government invested in. And that's transportation corridors, on-street parking, muni parking, multi-unit housing, sub-fleet applications. And so that's where the federal government can provide a lot of leadership and resources to help close the gap on charging. And then the final piece that I will leave you with is that, we really believe that EPA needs to and is going to be pursuing strong greenhouse gas and fuel economy standards. And so if you look back, the previous administration had unraveled many of the fuel economy standards, performance and emissions based that was driving electrification. And it's important because it's a market signal. So you need to have that strong, standard set by the government to make clear to both the capital markets and to those that are manufacturing and driving and creating new opportunities for EVs, that this is something we're going to do and fully transition in the next 10 or 15 years, not the next 40 or 50 years.
That's great.
Be sure to visit our website, connectingthegrid.com. There you can listen to our podcasts, contact us about sponsorship, or even be a guest on Grid Connections. While you're at it, if you found value in this show, we'd appreciate a positive rating on your favorite podcast or video streaming service. Or if you'd simply tell a friend about the show, that would help us out a lot too. Thank you again, and I look forward to us learning more together soon.